Do you want to know why I've so-called let myself go? It's because I feel like a freaking single mom in a house with a husband. You give me no support. Oh, so what? You work and you pay the bills, and that's what you're supposed to do. You want a cookie for that? Because I work too. Oh, I'm a woman, and that's what I'm supposed to do. You don't even come in and tuck these kids in bed at night. Every night you come in and you say, I'm tired. I need a moment to clear my head. When was the last time I got a moment to clear my head? Because I'm always on the go. You are so rich. I never get a moment to just sit down. You complain that's why the baby doesn't have a shirt on, because she keeps taking it off, Richard. So I want you to tell me how I should keep myself up and stay sane. Tell me.
Wow. She was going in, y'all. She was going in. She was fed up. She was fed up. She was fed up. And then there's other situations like this. Hold on, let me see if I can find it, y'all. There's some people that shared their experience. Like I just told you about the man-child thing. Here we go.
You want to know why wives are mad? My husband said this was clean. He cleaned this. He said 3 times that it was clean. First, I had to come behind and clean it properly. I don't want to clean up after a grown-ass man like I clean up after my child. You wonder why so many women are leaving their marriages. It's easier to be a single mother than a married single mother.
So yeah, y'all, like she was like, I get upset because I said this wasn't clean. He kept saying it was clean and it wasn't clean. It really frustrates women. It gets them to the point where they're upset. They're tired of always being the one to say this is not the way it is. And I can get how it can be daunting. How women can feel like a single wife when it comes to situations like this. But how do they feel like single mom? That's the real deal right here. So let's look into this. Now this was crazy because this is examples of how men in relationships, husbands, are not really in tune with their families. How they're present, but they're not present. Check this out, y'all.
What is your son's birthday?
No, that's a good one. That's a really good one, because I don't know.
You really don't know his
birthday? No, I don't know his birthday.
Do you consider you guys pretty close?
Yeah.
What is your daughter's favorite subject in school?
Social study.
Is that true?
No.
What grade is your daughter going into?
9th grade.
What's the name of your daughter's school?
Ash Creek Elementary School.
No.
River Creek.
No.
Something Creek.
No.
What color are your daughter's eyes?
Brown.
All right, let's look. That is incorrect.
They're blue. I have a brown-eyed daughter, though.
What is your daughter's birthday?
May 17th. Oh, no, it's the 14th, and I don't know what year.
Can you name your daughter's teacher?
Mrs. Jones.
Nope.
Mrs. Moore. It's not Moore?
Nope. That was my elementary school teacher.
Can you name their teachers?
Of course I cannot.
What are your daughter's birthdays?
Why do you do this to me?
What about her?
I give up.
Any guesses?
Yesterday.
Oh yeah, yesterday. Horrible.
Her birthday was yesterday. And you
Just
forgot
yesterday.
it.
Yes.
Can you name the best friend of each of your daughters?
Mari Carmen Rojas, Jimena Lopez, Adamari Lopez, Cristina Cornejo.
Good. Can you give us the name of their doctor?
Fadi Torres.
Good. Can you give us the name of their dentist?
Games Dental Land.
What are your daughters' birthdays?
Yes, May 28, 2009, August 8, 2013, February 24, 2006, June 8, 2006.
Isn't that crazy, y'all? Like how the mom knew everything about her children and was so in tune, and the dad was just like, Dad, like there's so much I didn't know about my child or my children. And to not even know their birthdays, like that's crazy. Like that is really crazy. To not even know when your child would enter this world. Unbelievable. So over top of that video said examples of married single mothers. What it really means is how a father could be present but not present in the home. And someone really brought up a really good point about this, and I'm gonna play that video right now. And it's pretty much marriage means nothing.
It's not about the ring, it's about the man. Y'all love to look down on women who didn't get married before having kids like a ring truly solidifies anything. Because for real, if it did, there wouldn't be divorces, right? There wouldn't be unhappy marriages or married single moms, right? But the truth is that video is so many women's reality. And it's literally because these men did not play with baby dolls growing up, did not get a kitchen set. They were raised to believe that is a woman's job. So when they do get out of the household, they're looking for another mommy instead of a real partner. I know a married couple where the dad doesn't even change the diapers, doesn't even cook or clean, and they both work. So listen to me when I say it's not about the ring or a title, it's truly about the man.
There you have it. It's not about the ring, it's about the man. See, like I said, for those situations where, you know, the mom just wants to do everything, or the mom dissuades the father from even doing anything because she always says he's doing everything wrong and then he just gives up. This is not for those situations. This is definitely for them situations where the guy is a chauvinist and he feels like, oh, well, it's a woman's job to take care of the kids and everything like that. But then also want the woman to pull weight financially as well. Like, we both need to contribute to this mortgage. I can't do it by myself. But you expect her to do everything by herself when it comes to the kids. Just weird. So here we have other realizations.
I want to talk about being a married single parent. This is something that I don't think is discussed enough in relationships, and one of the many reasons women end up feeling dissatisfied in their marriages, in the relationships, and in partnerships when they are a parent and they are sharing the parenting roles with their spouse. However, they feel as though they have to carry the mental load as well as the physical load. So oftentimes we hear in relationships and parenting, you are the mother. You wanted these kids. You're the mom. I worked all day. And for someone who's a work at home or stay at home mom, that undervalues all that is done by a woman who is at home. Now, let's not even begin to add in a woman who may work outside the home and is also carrying a financial load, a mental load of what do the kids need, what kind of activities are they doing, if they're doing outside extracurricular activities beyond homework, school pictures, getting them dressed, baseball, football, cheerleading, whatever it might be. And let's not even think about talking about the pandemic and the fact that our children just went through a lot of homeschooling which was a lot of the time put on the mother as well, which is another thing we thought about. Single parenting means you're doing it alone. I often talk to women because I work in the field with women in my businesses, and I hear, my husband isn't supportive. My husband isn't helpful. My husband doesn't understand me. My husband doesn't listen. My husband, my third child. And it makes me wonder, why are we in relationships with somebody who isn't truly a parent, but is behaving as if they are a child and we are their parents as well? Why is it on things like Christmas, many men don't even wrap the gifts or go out shopping, and the wife, the mother, is the one who goes out shopping, makes sure the kids get their wish list items, makes sure they're wrapped, and on Christmas morning, the father can just sit down on the couch and be just as surprised, and we find this humorous? This is not humor. This is a neglectful situation to the partner. The partner is being undervalued, underloved. And this happens in everyday life when it's expected that the garbage is just going to go out or the dishes are just going to be done. Or when the partner does that, they just want a trophy or some kind of parade. When women are doing things 24/7 with the mental load of thinking about all the things, with no thanks and often no support. We need to remember that we have value in our relationships. And if you feel like a single parent in a relationship, in a marriage with someone, this is the time that you need to start realizing you have more value than you think.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Here's another one.
Why is it that as moms, whenever we are going through something and we're tired or we're just having a bad day, we have to continue pushing because our kids need us? But when Dad's tired, when Dad came home from work and he's been working all day and he's exhausted, he needs a break. Why is it that the only alone time we get is sitting on the toilet, which doesn't even work half the time because your toddler walks in the middle of you pooping? You have to rush out of the shower because someone needs you. But Dad gets a shower in peace, no interruptions. Why is it that we can go weeks and months without a full night's rest and still are able to get up and take care of our kids in the middle of the night? But God forbid Dad is tired. Too many married women are single mothers. And it's really sad because two people made this child, made these children, and only one person is stepping up. How many times does someone have to repeat themselves and complain and cry until you decide no more?
It's truly sad that there are women out here that are facing these situations. But like I said, there's a lot of times when it happens because of one, the guy could be a chauvinist, could be someone who, thinks that it's always in the hands of a woman. But then I told y'all about the situations where the woman may be like, oh no, you're doing it wrong, stop it, blah, 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 blah. Or they just simply do everything like a superwoman. And yeah, so there is a thing where women who are raised by single mothers who see their mom do everything by themselves, never have any help, do it with a smile, do it with ease. It's something about being raised in an environment that sticks with you. Especially if you are a woman who is very close to your mother. You honor your mother. You look at your mother and say, wow, she's superwoman. She could do it all. You know what I'm saying? And you aspire to be that superwoman in your relationship, but not realizing that your mom was doing it alone. Like she had no one to fall back on. So now you're in a state where you're like, oh snap. You're in a relationship, but you still feel like you got to do everything alone because you're thinking of your mom and how she was doing everything alone and doing it with a smile. And this is what's expected of me. And this is what is acceptable. I can't sit there and complain about my back hurt and my legs hurt and my arms hurt and my everything hurt and my head hurt and not wanting to do anything, not wanting to cook, not like I can't be that way at all. And sometimes it's like it's okay. So I'm going to show y'all two situations where accountability is everything. But I'm going to get back to situations where women express they shared, the times when they were married single moms. So here we go. Accountability.
There are almost 600 comments of women who have gone through this.
I debated stitching this video. And the more I thought about it, I watched this video. This was the first video that popped on TikTok this morning when I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning. It is now 10 o'clock in the morning. And I debated responding or saying anything about this video, but I'm going to say it. And all I ask is before you comment, just think. That's all I ask. Just think before you react. Here we go. Some of y'all have a husband or have been married to a man that ain't never been there. Hold on. He never been there. He literally left his mama house, married you. Literally. Some of y'all. Some of y'all got with men that you knew when none ain't never been none. You married him anyways. This video ain't for you. Okay? This video is for the women who have a husband and their husband is not helping out at home. This for y'all. Sometimes we like to wear an S on our chest, right? We want the cape. We want to be super mom, super wife, super worker. We want to be Leave It to Beaver mama. We want to be Claire Huxtable career-wise. We want to be Sukiyana in the bedroom. Some of us move like that. Because of that, we carry everything. We carry stuff that our family never even asked us to carry. You do so much that did nobody ask you to do but you. Your husband didn't even ask you to do all that. You wonder why he don't help with it, because it don't bother him. It bothers you. Because you want to be grade A. And you're wearing yourself out. You don't even know a woman that is doing it. You don't know nobody that's doing it all. But for some reason, you feel like you need to. And so you will get jealous when your husband takes time to himself when he's tired because you feel like you can't. You feel like you can't. You cannot do it all. You can rest. You can sit down. The dishes can wait. Just think. Who told you to do it?
Now, she's not slamming women who want to be super women for their family. She's just saying what I got out of what she was talking about in the video was that you can't be mad if you never address it with your partner, or you get mad because you take on the weight of doing it all yourself and you feel like he's not helping. So I was like, oh, that's an interesting perspective. So I wanted to throw that in the mix. And there's another one now. I told y'all about being raised by a single mom and kind of carrying that into your relationship. So here we have accountability too.
How many married women are single mothers?
I don't, but, whoa.
I believe in holding yourself accountable, pulling back the blind so that people can see, understand, and sometimes feel heard. I will say that I fell under the category of single mothers on purpose, unintentionally. So I was raised by a single mom. She did everything, right? She worked, she took care of us, she cooked dinner every night. You know, there was no man in my life. So when my husband and I had kids, that's how I treated it. I didn't know how to share responsibility. I didn't know how to take constructive criticism from a man. I didn't know how to react when a man disciplined. I didn't understand what it was like to be in a relationship with someone and not have my children be the number one priority. Now I will say that majority of my children's life, they were my bullseye, period. And my marriage suffered outside of that because there were times where my husband did not feel like he was a part of the tribe. He felt like he was someone watching it. And I couldn't understand. I just didn't understand why he felt that way. I'm like, we include you in everything. But then I had to pay attention as I got older and my kids got older, that emotionally, the kids are drawn to me. When the kids ask questions, when they're excited, when they have good news, they would come to me. And I had to learn how to reroute them to their dad so that he started feeling included. And I'm not saying that he didn't help himself with some of the way that he thought. And now the children are just like, we're even Steven. That's just what we are. But I can honestly say that for a very long time, I thought like a single mother because in my head, the way I was raised was singular and I could not get past that, but I didn't even see anything wrong with it until I had to really step outside of myself and ask just super hard questions that didn't make me feel good about where I was, if that makes sense.
So those two young ladies, I appreciate their perspectives on, you know, being in a marriage and bringing that single mother mentality into the relationship, therefore creating this situation where they feel like a married single mom in their relationship because they brought that mentality, or they brought that I want to be super mom mentality into the relationship. And there are perfectionist moms out there, women that want to do it all, that feel like they can do it all and everything like that. And like the first lady was saying, it's okay to ask for help of your partner. You know, no one is asking you to do all of this, but you're putting yourself in a situation where like, and it feels it when it comes to that type of situation, I can see how a man would feel like, wow, like you really trying to make it seem like I'm not doing anything for my kids. I'm not there, but you're taking on all the responsibility for yourself, especially when, you know, there's some husbands out there that be like, yo, I'll take care of everything. You go ahead, you have a night out. I'll take care of everything. And the mom will be like, okay. But then they call and every 2 seconds checking in. Is everything okay? Do you need to come back home? You have everything. They give them the third degree before they leave out the house, like they're talking to a babysitter. And it's like, this is not a babysitter. This is your husband. Obviously, like, he will know how to take care of the kids. You got to let him do it sometimes, you know, and not feel like you can't trust him. That's a big thing, trust. When you feel like, when you make a man feel like you can't trust him to take care of his kids, he starts to lose his willingness and wanting to do it. But then there are situations, like I said, in the first instance, where There's men out there that, you know, they don't carry the weight. They don't do anything because they feel like it's solely the responsibility of the mother.
I realized that I was doing so much without him, and we were married.
This is facts. It's so crazy because I was married with my kid's father. I was with him for 13 years. We were married for 7 years of those 13 years. During the entire marriage, when I was into church, I would go to church by myself with the kids. Like, he never went to church with me. My family took family trips to Disney World every year. He never came. It was just me and the kids. Thanksgiving, Christmas, whenever we would go visit the families, it was me and the kids, just by myself. I was doing so much with the kids, doctor's appointments, everything, by myself. So then when we finally, we get divorced over the years, like, he gets upset because he has to pay child support, so he chooses not to pay it. He, refuses to send money. He sends it when he wants to every now and then, $100 here, $200 there. Like, this went on for 12 or 13 years after our divorce. During this whole time, I'm like messaging him saying, hey, time is going to come when your kids are going to realize what the real deal is. Like, I'm making sure they have a relationship with you. Like, I'm, making sure that they see daddy, but they're getting older and they're going to realize what it is. He would respond back, F you, B, you petty B, you bitter B, like everything. Like, he stopped talking to me. You talk too much. You are jealous B. You jealous of my new woman, all this stuff. So last week, and I recorded the conversation because I keep every bit of communication. He messaged me. He goes, hey, I was talking to, our daughter. And he's like, we need to learn how to be civil for them. So I want to know if you'll sit down and talk to me and let's talk this stuff out. I said, bruh, they grown now. They 20, 19, 17, and 14. There's nothing else I need to say to you. Anything they need, they can come to you. Like, I don't even need to answer your calls. Like, you've been on block. Like, mind you, he called me from a no caller ID number. So he kept trying to, like, God has shown me that I need to forgive you. God has shown me this. I've been in my word lately. I'm like, you what? You did what? Like, oh, I said, did God tell you that you should pay me for the $85K that you owe me in child support? Like, what? God told you to forgive me? I said, look, dude, I said, I've been let that stuff go. I've tried to be civil with you over the years, but I've put up my boundaries. Like, I have peace now, and I'm not about to let you break that peace, especially when your kids are grown. He gets mad and hangs up in my face. I sent him 32 screenshots of text messages of me telling him the exact same thing over 12 years. Bye.
It's easier to be a single mother than to stay with the partner of the...
This is so true, or at the very least, in my experience. I've been separated now for 2 years, and often the conversations that I have with maybe relatives, very close family friends, my parents, will be, so you're not gonna go back? To which I tend to respond, none of your business. I'm like, I never respond, it's none of your business, but I should. Instead, I usually reply, well, there hasn't been much change, and so no, it's not possible. What they fail to understand is if I would rather do life, raise kids, single, there must be something wrong. And one of the craziest revelations to me once we were separated was that life didn't feel much different outside of the fact that he just didn't live there. And on top of that, I don't have to answer to anybody.
Hey, but I have that you marked single. Are you guys not?
Oh, no, that's exactly right. I might as well be single. I'm out here doing everything, changing diapers, cleaning the house.
Don't act like I'm an absent father. I'm going to work and doing what I have to do.
Oh, are you a stay-at-home mom?
No, I work too. He acts like just because I work from home, apparently I don't work.
Yeah, but you don't have to deal with the mental stress each morning of having to wake up and drive somewhere.
Mental stress? Oh, so I guess breastfeeding throughout the middle of the night and giving medicine to our other child. Apparently that's not getting up early.
Well, how many kids do you guys have?
We have 3 kids together, ma'am. And you know what? When is the last time he changed a diaper or cooked?
Man, first of all, I'm here. I play with my kids. I'm there for them emotionally, bro. You heard me?
Can you be there to take him to the bathroom at 2 a.m? I mean, change a diaper, put him in a tub, something.
She complaining about stuff that she's supposed to do, that women do, you know? I mean, weren't y'all born to do that type of stuff?
But domestic violence goes both ways. Put your hands down.
Always talking that stuff about being an independent woman.
That's it.
I know that therapist was like, what is going on? But see, that situation right there, when he was saying, isn't that what a woman's supposed to do? Isn't she supposed to do all the things that I understand why women would feel like married single moms? When a man opens his mouth and says stuff like that, or he's saying, oh, I gotta babysit the kids, like, dude, these are your children. You're not babysitting anything. These are your children. Like, or putting a mom in a situation where she feels like she has to carry the load while, while he just sits there and chills and watch TV. So pretty much in that video, the woman was just explaining how she had to cater to her kids and do everything and clean up everything while he just sat there. Shout out to Try, who just came up in here tonight. He says, salute Lucia, salute Trevo. He said, I'm looking good tonight. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And of course, I gotta show my best friend some love. He said, welcome to Think Different TV, who is tuning in. So yeah, guys, so that's what they pretty much went through. That's what they go through. But like I said, it's not always the same situation with everybody. You get what I'm saying? It's not always the same situation with everybody. It's always a case by case type of thing. So this one lady, she wanted to give people advice. But before I jump into the advice, I want to give a man's point of view on the situation, okay?
It's not a woman's job to raise the children. Married single mom. This happens so much more often than you probably think, and I know this first-handedly because I was once one of those husbands that was not as involved in the responsibilities surrounding raising my child as I should have been. And I got my shit together, and I became the father that I needed to be for my family. But there are so many dads out there who think that because they work a hard labor job and they provide for their family financially, that they don't have to do anything else, and that is just not the truth. It is so much worse for a child to have a father who is home but never present than to have a father who is just never around, period. Take pride in being a father. Go change their diapers, feed them, like do all that stuff. They're only little for so long. And even if your wife or your girl, whatever, is a stay-at-home mom, it is a lot of work. My wife and I both work from home and take care of both of our children together, and it is a lot of work even if I didn't have to work from home. Fathers need to fall in line.
So before I end this segment, I want to just throw out the video of the woman giving the advice. I don't wholeheartedly agree with it, but here's the thing.
I've said it once, I'll say it again. If you're doing it alone, leave and go do it alone. Your kids deserve to see you happy, not in a relationship that is miserable. In fact, you're actually teaching your kids that it's okay to accept less than you deserve. Oh, with that being said, I completely understand what it's like to be in a relationship because you want your family to work out. But there's only so much you can do to make excuses for the person who's not doing shit in your relationship. Everyone deserves better. The best. Just please remember that you are never asking too much for the person who you've had a baby with to help you with that baby.
So I get it. I get it. She said, just go ahead and just leave and do it alone if you're already doing it alone. I get it. The kids do deserve to see you happy, but again, please don't just up and leave. Talk to your mate about it. Sit down and have an actual conversation before you make the decision to just up and leave. Because like I said, some men, they just don't realize that they are not doing right. You got to clue them in a few times. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of single moms don't even like when married moms say that they feel like a single mom inside of their marriage, because there's several things that married women have that single moms do not have. All right. So I read this article, and it says when a married mom says she feels like a single mom. And there's some examples. So single parents, men included, single moms, single fathers. What's the big deal if a single mom says she feels like a single mom? All right. It said it negates the difficult single parents go through. It negates the difficulties single parents go through. Finances. Married moms have someone to fall back upon financially, even if their spouse doesn't have a high-paying job. A single mom has her income and no one else's. So that's one. And, I can tell y'all about that all the time. Illnesses. If a married mom suddenly became sick and couldn't get out of the bed or broke her leg or something like that, she would have a spouse that could take care of things. Single moms have to take care of kids while they're throwing up sick, while they're, not feeling well, their leg broken, they still got to take care of business. If they're a single mom that does not have an active parent in the child's life. Parenting decisions, it solely falls on the shoulders of the single mom or single parent. And when you're in a marriage, you have someone to discuss it with. And the workload, sometimes a married mom can take off of work or not even have to work at all if their partner is maintaining the providing part of the whole situation. So there's a lot to unload in this topic, but I feel like I gave y'all enough information tonight, and I hope that the info helps someone. And that, guys, concludes my hot topic.
I'm coming in hot.
So I wanted to do something a little different for the music discussion, but before I even jump into the music discussion, I definitely want to shout out my sponsor. My sponsor is Euphoria Water. Euphoria Water is the cleanest, healthiest water in Philly. Alkaline water with minerals, no chemicals, no additives. It is good and good for you. If you're going to hydrate the right way, get your Euphoria Water today. You can find Euphoria Water on IG under Euphoria Water, or if you live in the Philadelphia area and want Euphoria Water delivered to your home, you can call Captain at 267-707-8279. And that's our sponsor. Listen, music discussion tonight, R&B groups. Now, R&B male and R&B female groups. Now, there's a lot that came out over the years, but this generation is kind of stagnant. I haven't seen any male or female groups that have dropped since, I don't know, 2013, 2014. No, I'm lying. 2016. Because the last group I really remember really hitting was June's Diary. And that's a group that my cousin Crystal is in. But I really feel like there is no group that came out after that. And I'm not talking about solo artists that get together and become a group to do a album or whatever, like TGT or Levert Sweat and Gill, LSG. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about people that actually came together and they said, we're going to be a group. And I think it's a lot of singularity right now. A lot of people just, I don't know if it's because they learned from the mistakes of past groups, or they just feel like if it's solely on them, they can go to the top faster, or whatever it is. There are a lot of groups. Actually, I looked into it, and they actually have like a top 45 list on IMDb. I want y'all to sound off in the comments. Female groups, male groups, and if you know of a group that's out right now, put that in the comments and let me know, because I haven't heard of any of them. And I'm like, maybe I'm just out of the loop, or maybe I'm right as far as there aren't any groups right now that are out and doing anything, any concerts or anything like that, or records. I sound like an old person. Doing any singles or anything like that, So where is that link at? I think it's on the first one. Pull it up real quick. So they said the 45 greatest R&B groups of all time, right? So these are the ones that they have listed. I'm gonna jump into the comments real quick. So we have Try, who said he said that we gotta talk about some of these artists. R&B groups are dead now. We need them back in the genre. Absolutely. He said Jagged Edge and Destiny's Child were the last good groups. Is that true? Jagged Edge and Destiny's Child. I like to say 112 over Jagged Edge. There might be a little bit of a fight. What about Drew Hill? Let's see the next comment. You got New Edition, Guy. Oh, speaking of Guy, they're actually doing a concert. They're doing a concert with is it with 112? I just saw the advertisement for it and I was like, dang, I really want to go to that. But I think it's not until it's like New Edition, Guy. Oh my gosh. It was other people on there. But I was like, dang, I think it's not until March 18th, but I wanted it for a birthday gift, and I was like, dang, I don't know. If y'all love me enough, why don't y'all send some money to my Cash App so that I can go and get the tickets? My Cash App is scrolling along the bottom of the screen. Lashia Star. Or you just want to send some money to support the show? That's always, a good thing. I'm up here. I'm giving y'all information. I was doing it as a labor of love, but I wouldn't mind doing it as a labor for money either. Let's see. New Edition Guy, Blackstreet, Tony. Yes. SWV. Now, if you say Tony, you definitely got to throw out Mint Condition with Stokely, right? SWV, Changing Faces, Escape. I Am Young P. He said, nope. I'm guess you responded to what I was saying about the groups not being out like that. Try said he loves 112. I Am Young P said Boys the Men. Of course, Boys the Men. Can't forget to mention them because I'm in Philly and Boys the Men. Yeah, so Try said Guy and Keith Sweat, that's the other person with New Edition. They all on tour. So I don't know. If y'all love me, y'all could drop a little something in my cash app so that I can get these tickets. I mean, if y'all love me. Try said I like the few Drew Hill songs in my bed remix with the Brett and JD. I mean, they had so many more than that. Remember 5 Steps? 5 steps eternally. We were 4 steps. Young P said SWV definitely. Where did you go? You're telling me that you love me. Oh, but you know that you belong to another girl who loves you. Love SWV. I actually met Coco in Walgreens at Broad and Chestnut. I met her. I took a picture with her. I was like, oh my gosh, you're Coco from SWV. Oh my gosh. Try said intro, portrait, troop, Brownstone were severely slept on groups. Absolutely, absolutely. And Brownstone was the one with Nikki Gilbert, right? That was the one with Nikki Gilbert in it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the one she was in. Now I'm gonna read the groups that they put at the 45 greatest all time. So they put Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind, and Fire. They really threw it back. They went back. They like this is all the way up until now, right? So Try said he saw SWV in concert on the Tony Braxton tour. They were great. Woo! And I knew it. Nikki is from Brownstone. Yup. She was the one that was all like, remember that episode of Martin when she was on there and she was like, she was rehearsing so much that she had lost her voice. So which call was like, Martin was like, oh my gosh, no. She was like, I can't even talk. And then she drank some tea or something and she said, I'm okay now. And then she started singing. And this was supposed to be Martin's artist, but then like I guess she got signed to them and so she left them or whatever. It was crazy. Yeah, she was on the R&B's Divas reality show. I don't like when people be on reality shows, all right? So was Kelly Price. I don't like when they be on reality shows. Lil Mo was on one. I think Lil Mo was on the one with Kelly Price and Shantae Moore. But I don't like when they on those reality shows because I'd rather just know you from singing. I don't want to know you from having a nasty attitude and treating people wrong and just cussing people out. I don't like all that. I like they could have kept all that drama. I ain't like that too much. But okay, let me get back into the list. All right. So Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Temptations. Yeah, Monifa was on there too. I remember that. That's when I found out that she was a lesbian. I was like, oh, okay. Boys the Men. That's what I'm saying. Too many people want to put all their business out there. Just make good music, you know. The Supremes, Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge didn't make the list. Kool and the Gang, New Edition, Jackson 5, of course. The OJs, TLC, Jodeci. I'm surprised y'all didn't mention Jodeci. Jodeci was oh my gosh, like Jodeci used to come back to back with the hits. In Vogue. The girl from In Vogue was on there too. She was on there too. Tony, Destiny's Child, Parliament, The Shy Lights, Escape, Ohio Players, Drew Hill, SWV, The Miracles, Mint Condition, The Stylistics, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Would I really count Gladys Knight and the Pips as a group? I don't know. I don't think I would count Gladys Knight and the Pips as a group. I don't know. Y'all put it in the comments. I wouldn't personally, because I don't think that's a group. I think there's like Gladys Knight was singing the main vocals and the Pips were backing her up, but I didn't feel like it was a group type of thing. Like I said, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. Like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, I could see as being more of a group, even though Harold Melvin was the lead singer, but they all moved together. They all, was dancing and everything like that. Silk, the Gap Band. That's what Gap Band had Uncle Charlie. Ooh-wee. Total, the Four Tops, High Five. 112. 112 was way down the list though. Guy, The Spinners, Blackstreet. And it's kind of crazy because Blackstreet and Guy both had Teddy Riley in it. And they're both like up there as far as groups. H-Town, The Drifters, Soul for Real, The Whispers, Belle Biv DeVoe, Janae. Remember Janae? They was the one that did it's a groove, banger groove, banger groove, bang. It's a groove, banger groove, bang. We're moving on, keep it strong. I just changed the whole key. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a groove. I'll figure it out later. Changing Faces. Shy, 702, Brownstone. Tribe said the Commodores, the Delphonics, Black Ivory. He said, I love those folk bands from the 70s. My mom played their albums around the house. Yeah, definitely their first album, Jade's first album, was a classic. I loved it. So yeah, y'all, those are the groups, but where are the male and female groups of the day? Let's do a little search. Male R&B group 20. They got 2000s. Okay, so they got ATL, Day 26, but that's old too. Like all these are old. All these are old groups. Brother. All these are old groups. I'm not seeing anything. Got B5. You got Color Me Bad. B2K, of course, B2K. Rough Ends, remember Rough Ends? Pretty Ricky, I guess that counts. Y'all, I'm not seeing any that's after 2000. Like there's ones that lasted after 2010, like ended in like 2018 LFO. They ended in 2018, but they been established since 1995. So let me go to female groups. Try to say I actually watched Day 26 when they were on Making the Band. They were just on the wrong label. That's true. I wholeheartedly believe that. Let me look at female. And this is so crazy. So they do have more recent groups as far as female, like they have Cherish, Danny Kane, Electric Red, 3LW. I wouldn't count City High as a female R&B group because it was 2 males and 1 female. Floetry. So the internet and foreign exchange were groups too, but they were so much more than just R&B. So I say all this to say that maybe it's time for them to create a female group, a male group, see if that's a possibility. And no, I don't mean getting a whole bunch of solo artists together into a group. No, we're not doing it. No, because they try to do that on, what was that show where they took the girl from 3LW and they had the girls from Cherish, the twins from Cherish, and they tried to put them in a group together along with what the girl name that was with Lil Wayne. They got big with Lil Wayne. They was just doing too much. I said, no, stop it. Also, the girl from Black. Black was a good group too. BLAQUE. He said, "You remember Coffee Brown?" I'm not sure. Probably know music from them, but I probably don't know. I would have to hear music from them. So yeah, definitely, y'all. Like these groups that were of yesteryear, and now there's like no groups today. It's freaking bananas. But we're gonna move on to our next segment, which is my financial tip. But before I even do that, I definitely want to shout out my sponsor, Euphoria Water. I'm just going to throw it up on the screen really quickly. There you go. Boom, the healthiest water. And I'm going to hop into my financial tip. But I thank y'all for participating in the music discussion. So my financial tip for tonight is setting up a budget. Well, step by step. It's always, you got to take it step by step when it comes to stuff like this. You can't just jump into the fold and be like, oh, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So, number 1, you want to calculate your net income. You want to know what you're bringing in. All right. We're not talking about gross. We're talking about net. So anybody who does not know what net income is when you have your gross and they subtract all the taxes and everything like that, and then it's whatever is left over afterwards. But I'm sure everybody who's ever had a job knows the difference between gross income and net income. But the foundation of an effective budget is your net income. That is your take-home pay, total wages or salary minus deductions for taxes and employer-provided programs such as retirement plans and health insurance. Focusing on your total salary instead of a net income could lead you to overspending because you think you have more available money than you do. If you're a freelancer, gig worker, contractor, or self-employed, make sure to keep detailed notes of your contracts and pay in order to help manage irregular income. All right. Number 2, you want to track your spending. Once you know how much money you have coming in, the next step is to figure out where it's going. Tracking and categorizing your expenses can help you determine what you are spending the most money on and where it might be easiest to save. Begin by listing your fixed